Hi, beautiful people. You're welcome back to Prudy's Kitchen. Today, we're making some Christmas shortbread. So good. It's filled with jam and chocolate. It melts in the mouth. If you try this recipe, it's going to be the best shortbread you've ever had. Trust me on this, guys. So, if you're new to my channel, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. So, without wasting time, let's get into the video. This recipe requires a few ingredients. The first is 250 grams of room temperature butter. As you can see, it's not melted, it's not cold, room temperature. Next is 150 grams of powdered sugar. Okay, 600 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence, and a few drops of red food coloring. So that's all we're going to need. So next, right now, in a bowl, I'm going to put in my room temperature butter. Next, with a hand mixer, I mixed it for about a minute, okay, just to kickstart it, not to mix it completely. Then I added my powdered sugar to it and continued mixing for about 5 to 6 more minutes until the butter and the sugar was light and fluffy and the color was pale yellow. Okay, then I added my vanilla essence, mixed it again until it was well combined, let's say another 1 minute, and then I started adding my flour to it. Okay, so I added the flour slowly in batches. I continued mixing while and adding the flour until I added all the flour in. So right now, looking at this mixture, it's this dough, let's say, it looks dry, okay, crumbly, flaky, and just completely dried out. And if you're making this recipe, you're going to be tempted to add water to it, but please don't. Trust me on this. This recipe doesn't need any water, okay? Doesn't need any water at all. So I continued mixing it and pushing it together, okay, while I mixed it and continued mixing until it formed into a ball. Look at it, it's completely flaky and just wants to break at any minute. Okay, so but that's what we're looking for, a very crumbly, flaky dough. Okay, so I mixed it and then held it together and then covered it with a cling film and let it put it in the fridge to rest for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, the dough has rested and formed a bit of gluten, so it's easier to handle right now. I divided it into two because I want two colors right here, white and red. So if you want more colors, you could divide it into more pieces, okay, and then put more colors in each of them. But right here, I just wanted red and white. So in one of it, I added in one part I added like about 4 drops of red food coloring, depending on how deep you want your red to be. That's so it doesn't really have a measurement right here. So I scattered the dough again and mixed it very well. I'm done kneading right now. So I'm going to place it on a parchment paper. Try to flatten it a bit. This is necessary because when I bring it out of the fridge and try to knead it, if it's in like a round ball, it's going to be a bit difficult, okay? So I flattened it a bit, wrapped it up in parchment paper, both of them, and put it in the fridge to rest for about 1 hour, 30 minutes, okay? Not shorter because this dough needs really to rest in the fridge. It has to be cold because it's made with butter, a lot of butter. Okay. This is 1 hour, 30 minutes later. The dough has completely rested and ready to roll. So I opened it all up, put a parchment paper over it and rolled it. This is necessary because it's gonna stick to the rolling pin, to the rolling stick, if I don't put a parchment paper over it. So right now with my cookie cutter, I'm gonna start cutting it. Okay. So because we're making filled shortbread here, we're going to need 2 cookie cutters, one big and one small, okay? The big one is to cut it and the small one is to put a hole in the middle. And then we're going to cut half of it without holes and half of it with holes. So for every one that you cut without a hole, there should be one with a hole to pair it. Okay, so I continued like that until I cut all the shortbread. And for the ones with holes, because the dough is very delicate, okay, you're going to need to put both cookie cutters down at the same time, okay? Place them at the same time and cut both of them at the same time. If not, it's if you try to cut one before the other, it's going to fall apart because it's a very delicate dough, okay? So I continued like that. As you can see right now, I cut it, I put both of them together and I pressed it down, and then just like that, it cuts at the same time, then it doesn't, it's easier. And then it's supposed to lift up, of course, with the cookie cutter. But for those babies that don't want to follow the cookie cutters, I lifted them up with a pastry server, okay, which makes it easier, because if you try to lift it with your hands, it's gonna break apart. So right here, I have a cookie stamp, okay, so this is a Merry Christmas cookie stamp. It's so cute. Okay, so I have it lying around. So I decided to make some too with the cookie stamps that's saying Merry Christmas. Since it's a Christmas cookie, it's so cute. So I cut some with the cookie stamp and then cut some to be filled up. And when I'm done, and of course, after cutting, you gather the remaining dough again, knead again, roll it out again with a baking sheet on top of it, and cut again. So I continued like that until I cut it all. So right here, I've cut out the pink ones, or let's say the red ones. I don't even understand which color it is anymore. So right now, this is the white one. I'm going to cut them with star cookie cutters, okay? So I just did it with different shapes. So I'm going to continue until when I'm done, I'll see you right there. So I'm done cutting right now. These are all my cookies. They're ready. So I'm going to pop it in the oven right now, in a preheated oven. It has to be preheated at 170 degrees for 20 minutes, or it's golden brown at the edges, just at the edges. Okay, so right now my cookies are done. Let's talk about the filling. So here I have some strawberry jam, some apricot jam, and a bit of Nutella. Okay, you could use any jam or chocolate of your choice. Okay, make it comfortable for your home. So in a plate, I'll place first of all the one without hole, and then I put a bit of jam on it, a bit of filling, okay, anything you like on it, and then the one with hole on top. Don't overfill it because it's gonna overflow and then it's not gonna look as cute as this. Doesn't it look beautiful? Oh, this is so good, really. The texture when you put it in your mouth, okay, it's rich, it's fluffy, it's flaky at the same time, and it doesn't have a lot of sugar, because this is 150 grams of sugar. But if you want to add more, you could add more, but I think you shouldn't, because with the fillings, with the jam filling, it complements it. It's just perfect. Okay, you're not going to forget this recipe in a hurry. I promise you that. So right now, I'm just going to give you guys a taste test. Just take a look at this. Go around one more time, and then I'll pop it into my mouth. Oh. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.